How you doing, everybody? And welcome back to Dicey Decisions. This is going to be the second episode of our short series called Dicey Decisions to a Different Tune, GM'd by the illustrious and fantastic Troy, who you can follow at SimPhoenix on Twitter. And he also has a Twitch channel where he does a lot of variety stuff, mostly gaming, some visual novel stuff. I think he's currently making a run-through of the Phoenix Wright trilogy, which is fantastic. So go check him out. I'll put links in the description. This week's Dicey Spotlight is about more than speaking up. It's about doing something. Doing something about Derek Scott, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, and the millions of others who everyone else tried to forget about as soon as the protests ended, as soon as people stopped complaining, as soon as they were able to silence everyone who was upset about it. These protests have not ended, despite what you may see online. They will not stop. They have not stopped, and they won't stop until change is made. More change has happened in the last couple weeks through the actions of American citizens than in the decade of bullshit politics from voting for people. Do not stop. Keep fighting. Organize. Join a march. Do something. In the description down below, I will be linking to organizations, drives, and I think a couple bundles or two that you can donate to help make change happen. Because that's how it happens. When you do something. All right, let's play some D&D. I'll have more to say about that next week.
So, last time
Last time on Dicey Decisions.
Carly, would you roll me a d4, please?
Chala, hey chala.
Can I borrow some? I forgot we need dice for this.
I also forgot my dice. Shit.
Really
We're
good.
good at this. Are those
We're
ones
playing D&D.
Didn't you grab your dice bag when you came in?
mine? No.
Oh, well, sucks to suck, doesn't it? Yep. And, shit. I haven't cleaned my desk since, like, I don't know when.
1907.
1907, whenever that was. Since our Call of Cthulhu campaign. Fuck it, spada. Fuck it, spada.
You said roll a d20?
D4, please.
D4. That's a 4.
Nice.
Damn it. Okay.
Oh, yes, nice.
Alright, so last time on Dicey Decisions, we were introduced to the Dorian Royal Academy of the Arts. And we were introduced to 4 of its newest students. Juniper, Cadence, Toshiko, and Meridia.
Oh, yes. We love her.
Wife.
They were assigned as they were to the alternative performance division where they were assigned to the instructor Crucible. After finding the sorry state of the alternative performance wing of the school, there was much uproar from the newfound students. One in particular.
Some of the newfound.
I just think that we deserve better, and I am right.
You can have other opinions, and they're wrong.
After doing that, Crucible...
Sorry.
I think your mic is live.
I got it.
Is it?
So, after that, Crucible realized that living beings, in fact, need to eat food.
Indeed, Crucible.
And so, Crucible led you all down to the Great Hall where you were first brought into the school. And there you ate some food, one of you begrudgingly.
Whatever.
In true Toshiko fashion, I'm just shoving carbs down my mouth.
And
Just
then
nothing but carbs. Where's it go?
then you also met Professor Kuiper,
Boo!
Robacist.
who at first seemed, just kind of an asshole, like a kind of a minor asshole,
Just kind of bitchy, but I mean, we're bitchy, so.
I would say he's majoring in asshole.
And then he threw a chair at Juniper.
I would have killed him. You should have let me kill him!
And he basically said that you don't amount to anything because you are not true bards.
Bastard.
Afterwards, Crucible led you all up to your shared dormitory. You all settled in. And we shall pick up about a week after that event. So you all have been attending classes for this past week.
What are classes like?
Interesting.
I'm glad you asked because I was going to go into that.
Oh, cool! Awesome! Segue!
That was so weird.
That's
That
so
was really weird to
unintentional.
watch.
Ugh.
Whoa! Alright, I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
We should not be
Anyway.
given this power.
Largely your classes are they actually end up being a lot of independent study. Because your various different styles of performing are so different from each other, there's not much overlap.
Makes sense.
So what generally ends up happening is that Crucible will meet you all down in the alternative music, or in the alternative performance classroom, which the next time that you went after that night, which would have been obviously the next morning, it was completely dusted clean and like the chairs were put back together.
Sorry.
No,
And,
we are now occupying a different classroom, which is
Oh,
much
yeah.
nicer. And as long as we don't say anything, hush hush.
You are actually still in the alternative performance room.
What?
Aw.
That first day, when you saw Crucible in the morning, he's, normally made out of what looks like stained glass, showing this tableau. It was covered in dust when you saw him the next morning.
Oh, Crucible.
buddy.
Oh.
I mean, he doesn't need to sleep, so... But also...
Wait, is that where he
was a dusty
sleeps?
boy.
Aw.
So,
He's a statue.
Much
He
of you-
probably just sleeps in an alcove.
much of your classes have been, you get together, he checks in with everybody, sees what projects they might be working on, and, unless there's something specific he wants to talk about, like potentially, like something that might be going on around the school or current events, things like that. He just kind of lets you work how you see fit. We will open as you four are walking down to the classroom. You three and Meridia, obviously.
Yeah.
On the the week later thing?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's been a week. You've had time to adjust. The meals have been all right. Not nearly as extravagant as the first night, but the food is actually quite well made.
You must have a cooking bard here somewhere.
I'm still eating buttered noodles.
And Meridia is still putting proper food in front of your face.
I don't want to eat these steamed vegetables. What is a broccoli? What is this? It looks like a tiny tree.
My
Yes.
family couldn't afford vegetables.
Thanks, Markiplier. I was too poor to afford vegetables. Sorry.
It may look like a tiny tree, Cadence, but think of it this way. If it is a tiny tree, you are just very big. Think of the power.
I don't want this power. I don't even want trees. I'm from the ocean.
This is how giants feel.
What about me makes you think I want to be a giant?
Your ego? And Meridia is saying that as you all are leaving out of the dorm.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm resistant to fire damage, because that burned.
Meridia feels a little tugging on the edge of her skirt, and Tenchi is just reaching up his little tanuki fist for a fist bump.
She just kind of... That was uncouth of me. I apologize for that.
Ah,
And
don't
then gives him a
apologize.
fist bump on the slide. So as you all are walking, we'll say it's a couple minutes after that particular burn. It's had time to kind of ride the crest and kind of ebb back off.
Put some aloe on it,
That and the tone in which she gave it was definitely, more jovial.
Yeah.
So as you guys are walking, Meridia, what? And I know for seasoned D&D players, the next question I'm going to ask is going to sound very suspicious. How are you guys walking through the hallway?
God fucking damn it.
Like what?
I'm
Cadence
warming up, so I'm probably going first. Like I'm doing just athletic walking to warm up
Lunges.
my joints, because I'm working on a new routine, and it requires a lot of inversions, because I'm trying to work with more inversions. So I need to be limber and stretched. So I'm doing lunges through the hallway, jogging forward, coming back. I'm in the front. Sorry.
No,
Long
that's
answer.
fine. Cadence is probably in the middle, not really paying attention and snipping at the group, while also reading from her tome of spells.
Tashiko would be toward the back, that way she can kind of let Tenchi get a good look of everything and where everyone is.
Makes sense.
That puts Meridia right next to Cadence.
Cadence is Cadence is trying not to make it obvious, but she is always in step with Meridia, and makes a point to always be sniffing at her without actually looking at her.
Is that their dynamic over the last week? Just
Basic.
Meridia
Yeah, basically.
just absolutely riffing off of Cadence every episode.
She will not take any of Cadence's shit.
And
Yes.
Cadence doesn't try to make a point of it, but she does always end up beside Meridia. It just happens, okay? Don't read into it. Don't read into it.
Meridia was the one who stayed behind and locked up the dorm behind you guys, but as she has in the last couple of days, she has actually kept up, she moved a little bit quicker to get up in step with Cadence.
maybe Cadence like slowed down a little bit. Like again, don't read into it.
And
Don't read
largely the conversations have been, small talk when these things happen. But today, Meridia kind of takes a beat and just says, Cadence, I have a question.
What is it?
Would you teach me?
Teach you what?
Yeah, teach her what? Sorry, not listening.
Oh my god. Is
I wish to... My performance is very solitary, as you all know, and I feel that I've suffered from my isolation. So I would like to learn to speak with the eloquence that you do, Cadence.
I try not to laugh.
Regardless of pointed remarks, my specialty is more of law research and contract breaking. And from what I can tell, you're pretty argumentative on your own. Do you really think you can learn from me?
I am decent with my words. Perhaps you just bring out a more confrontational side of me, out of necessity at times.
And I think I can sharpen it.
It would be nice to have something sharp besides just my sword.
Alright, if you're willing to learn, I have a few pointers.
And she just kind
It's
of...
getting hot in here, guys.
Oh my god, Juniper. Get your mind out of the gutter.
I'm just
This is
warming up. What are you
strictly
talking
study.
about? I'm supposed to be hot.
And Meridia just kind of covers her mouth and laughs as you guys walk.
I had something. I have something.
And by this point, you've gotten down to the alternative performance classroom. And it's...
Hold on. I do create water and just splash Juniper. Like, create water above Juniper and just splash water above
She does the
her.
flash dance thing. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yes, you can cast that.
This isn't combat, just let me do this.
Yeah, I said you can cast it. Don't get snippy at me.
I can't believe you've done this. I do the flash dance pose with my spear as a support. I just go, oh, and I like make eyes at the rest of the group, like
Somehow
just hamming it up.
Somehow I've made this worse.
You do that as you are entering into the hallway that leads directly into the door into your classroom. And Crucible is standing outside of it.
Can I thaumaturgy away the water? I don't want to be soaking wet.
And he just kind of watches that with that same placid... He doesn't have an expression. Because he is Robit.
Robit.
But you do get the same sense of just... He is aware of your presence as you walk up.
What does his, like, face look... You say he's like, a humanoid and made out of stained glass, kind of a statue, like, he's got a tableau on him, but... What does his face look like? Like, is it like...
I'm
Iron Man just
imagining
out
it...
of stained glass, or...
Yeah, I'm thinking that he looks like he has eyes, a mouth set in a completely neutral expression, nose, ears, and all that, as if sculpted from stained glass.
Ooh. Interesting. Okay, so now I'm thinking more of the robots from I Am Robot, but just like expressionless.
And actually, it's less stained glass at that point. It's more His face actually appears to be blown glass, so rather than having the sharp lines of his body's makeup, it's a slightly more rounded look. So he does appear fairly humanoid.
Interesting. Okay. That's
Does he wear
totally different than what I
clothes?
had in my head, and that sounds way cooler. All right.
Yeah, does he wear clothes?
No. He has no... His whole body is basically just this big tableau made out of stained glass, looking like a bolt of lightning striking the top of a monastery in the middle of a desert.
Is there like any Michelangelo shit going on, or is he like a Ken doll? Because Junie definitely would have looked.
Yeah, no, he's full-on Ken doll.
Damn it. All right, that's fine. Sorry. I'm sorry, Troy.
So he watches as you all approach and do your antics, and then you thaumaturgy the water away. And he says, "Good morning, students. I hope that you have rested well."
Yeah, I just had a really good shower. I'm ready to go.
They're still bickering.
The bickering will probably never stop.
And Meridia says, "I feel like that's normal for Cadence, and I am willing to accept that."
No,
Don't put all the blame on me.
With you.
Nothing.
And Meridia just looks over at you, Toshiko, and just... So she has fairly light gray skin. It starts to darken around her cheeks, and you can see little flicks of, like... almost like magma under the skin. Just a tiny bit. And she just clears her throat pointedly.
So what's on the agenda today, instructor?
Today, you shall be sent on your first assignment.
What?
I believe it was described to you in the entry packet that you received that on occasion you will be sent to perform tasks for the surrounding town.
Yeah, I totally read that. Absolutely.
I can't read.
It was in the. It was explained in the fine print.
It is an attempt to make you both understand the importance of knowing the community surrounding your area, as well as to give you some on-the-job experience.
Well, I've already stretched. I'm ready to go. Let's do it. What are we doing?
Your job is to go down into the town surrounding the academy and speak with there is a fellow at the church in that town who is concerned from some strange occurrences around town.
Strange like all the milk is going sour really quick, or strange like old man Jenkins is, he's starting to lose it a bit. He's forgetting who people are.
I do not know what either of those things means.
Anyway.
Are we providing him legal aid or a lawyer present? Are we banishing demons? I'm very confused what our role is here.
Do we need to intimidate some local bandits? Because if so, I need to change.
From what I have been told, the reason for concern is that they are hearing music at all hours.
They live near a music school.
I said all hours, including when everyone is asleep.
I don't. I
mean, of course, the first question is going to be, have they just followed the music? But I guess it wouldn't be that easy if they're asking for us to come in, I guess. Unless
I have
it's
not
supposed
been
to be
told anything else.
Maybe this is just them hazing us.
I do not know.
This could be. Well,
I'm gonna go.
we might as well check it out. That's like the first time you've ever said that.
Yeah, well, I have,
And-
like, 2 outfits, so I save one of them for special occasions. This sounds like it.
Wow. I'm somewhat
And yeah.
surprised and proud.
Crucible basically just gives you the directions to get down to the town. And it is largely like going down back through not the entirety of the tundra that surrounds the Royal Academy, but you are going out into the snowy forest around the academy. And so he tells you to get any of your things from the dorm that you need, and that you are to report to the Church of
Chichafena.
Oh my god.
We have briefly discussed potentially. No, we actually did not discuss this being a crossover. We discussed another thing being a
Yeah.
crossover.
That would have been funny.
I'm down with a crossover. This like, this could take place at any point in history.
If like the Church of Fana exists here, I'd be so suspect. Like, what
It's
the
like-
fuck? I'd be
Kill
asking
them
so
all.
many questions. It's like, y'all, we need to go. We need to go.
There's this really old bird there.
The bird won't talk to us. It has milky eyes and for some reason looks like a teenager.
Keeps talking
There's also
in
this
little
weird
girl's
short
voice.
man.
He's calling us like shit reading.
That's all it says, is shit reading.
Shit reading?
When Soot gets old and senile, all he can say is shit reading.
Shit reading! Shit reading! Shit reading! Just like everyone.
Black and white, he thinks about his old sleigh in the snow. Shit reading.
Very good Citizen Kane reference.
Thank you.
You haven't watched it.
No, I haven't.
We have it.
Oh, we do, yeah.
We should watch that tonight.
Sounds
So-
sad.
You
Yes.
all travel down into the small town of You travel down into the small town around the academy, and it's pretty much just called. It doesn't actually have a name.
It's so
Really?
small it doesn't have a name.
Well, it's more so that it's basically just a service town for the academy. Like, it has merchants and people living there and shops and things like that, but pretty much everything there is centered around giving towards the academy.
Do the locals call it something at least, or do they just call it town?
Hugs me. It's pig's beer.
No.
Nah.
No.
No, it's like the gift shop town near Disney World, whatever that place is
Oh
called.
shit! Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Fuck it, it's the Olympic Village. It's just nothing but sex going on there.
It is
Oh my god.
generally referred to as the Academy Village.
Okay, all right, I can stick with that. That's way
Okay.
less stupid than my idea.
But generally it's referred to as the village, or especially around students or anything like that. They're saying that they're going to go into town to do things.
Yeah, like drugs or stuff.
It's generally where things are going on that are not directly tied to the school. There's dorms and everything where people have their private time, but there is... I mean, it's a school. There's still going to be... It's not just a school, it is a prestigious royal academy. Like, they are not exactly the most relaxed in their rules.
Yeah, it's like this is
going on in town.
yeah, this is where you get your like shit.
There are multitudes of taverns.
Oh yeah.
Like, there are more taverns than homes, it possibly looks like.
Oh.
And
Okay.
As you all were traveling in, and as you're now going back into town, you're noticing that these taverns all boast large stages. Some of them will have alchemical and magical lighting rigs, so that there's more fanciful effects for when people are performing. There are some that have much higher seating, so like there's a better view to them. Generally, it seems like the taverns are trying to outdo themselves to be the best venue for performers.
Interesting.
But you all are actually not headed to any of the taverns or any of the shops for now.
We're going to church.
You are going to the Church of Millil.
Mele.
No.
That's spelled
Akasha.
Milil.
Milil.
Anybody would like to roll a religion check to know what's going on?
Oh, I'll do
I'm
it.
just not gonna spew lore at you guys willy-nilly.
See if
God, I
know
want
anything.
it. I'll do it.
And Meridia is obviously alongside you guys. She's just been preparing herself, basically.
Nope.
Junie die. Yoink.
I got a. Cadence got a 13.
Aiden's got a 13. Toshiko?
7.
6.
7.
Hey, Meridia,
So-
you know what this place is about?
Well, let me see. Y'all, she rolled 2 nat 1s.
Oh god. So Cadence,
So-
what have you fucking heard about this place? It's
So-
a church.
Meridia is actually a little bit in a trance as she's walking.
Really? She likes
You can
snow?
see her. You can see her actually. She's not got her sword on her back. She is actually clutching the sword, kind of almost praying over it, specifically over the handle and crossguard.
Does she look like in a bad space, or does she look just meditative?
Meditative.
Okay.
So, Cadence, through your various studies, especially as you were preparing to come to this school, you know at least a little bit of Millil.
Mhm.
Millil is also known as the guardian of singers and troubadours,
Okay.
who seems to be the patron saint of
Yodeling.
bards, musically inclined folk, that sort of thing.
Okay. Okay. Well then, why are they complaining about singers? Ridiculous.
Maybe. It's a
Anyway,
curse.
we're heading towards the church for bards.
Ah, yeah, that tracks.
I wonder.
And Meridia kind of comes out of it as you all approach the doors of this. You don't actually think it's a church at first. All the signs are pointing to it. Everything like that is telling you this is the church. But there's no impressive stonework. There's no stained glass. What you see is essentially an extremely large theater.
Part of the course.
Forgot that I'm not surrounded spells.
Yeah, you'd have to prepare spells.
But I just did that.
I was wondering what you were doing the whole time.
And as you enter this auditorium, you come into this spacious lobby. which is, done up with fine carpeting. Any woodwork or stonework you see is extremely well kept. And even if something does look like it's been there a bit, it still looks extremely artistically made. Like every inch of stone and wood and glass is very deliberately placed.
Hmm.
And as you enter the lobby, an older gentleman, probably in his late 50s, dressed in a comfortable cotton shirt and trousers, looks up from where he's standing behind a small glass window into a room that appears to be closed off from another door. And he looks up and just goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have any services at the moment. You may need to come back another day."
We were sent here from the academy. We heard that you needed help.
And he goes wide-eyed with recognition and just scrambles to his feet and, goes out from behind where he's sitting. You hear a door open, you see it open, it closes, and he comes around a little corner. "Oh, thank goodness. I'm so... Thank the troubadour that you've come. I've been so concerned."
About the singing.
It's not always... It's... Now that you mention it, it hasn't been singing at all.
Okay, then we're done. Cadence turns around.
We're not.
Meridia
done.
literally grabs her by the collar. So it is not singing. What has it been? It has been an orchestra.
Coming out of people's mouths.
No. It's just been at night when everyone is attempting to sleep.
Has anyone gone to investigate?
A few, but most of them have not come back.
Yeah.
Or if they have, I haven't known about it. So they may have honestly come back. Nobody tells me things. But it is very clear that they cannot find any particular sources.
Right. And who has been hearing the music? Everyone?
Pretty much anybody who lives on mostly this side of town, but it has also been known to be heard over the course of the entire village.
You have heard it?
Yes.
Would we know anything? Well, I guess any of us. Would any of us have experience with the otherworldly to an extent where strange music coming from seemingly nowhere would strike a chord with us, perhaps?
Would this strike any chords with me?
Yes.
So, Toshiko, if you would like to try to have some experience in your particular manner, I'm going to have you roll me... Actually, no, you're not going to roll yet.
Just roll, Troy.
Here, hold on.
Oh no!
Toshiko will kneel down, almost as if in prayer, and reach her hand out to Tenchi, and then lift him up a little bit, and then press her forehead to him, and focus.
And as you do, Toshiko, a very familiar... You haven't felt it very often, but when you have, it's been jarring. Because for this moment, you can see. And what you see is an endless field of just the brightest greens, the deepest blue skies. Just the most vibrant thing you've ever seen. which, is a short list anyway, but... And
She reaches up and feels to see if her bandages are still there over her eyes.
they are there, but you know that the couple of times this has happened so far, that has not mattered. So as you're communing with Tenshi and you see this open, just this endless field of grass overgrown with flowers of every shape and color, you hear an all too familiar voice.
Ah, the sculptor has come again.
Yes,
And with something on her mind this time.
Yes. If I may ask for your wisdom.
You can ask for it. It doesn't mean I have to give it.
Of course. There is something strange going on here. People who are hearing music at night where there is none there. It sounded otherworldly, and you are otherworldly and wonderful, and I thought maybe
You don't
might...
need to lick my boots quite so hard, sculptor.
I would
Maybe
never.
a little less.
I would never. I have no need to. What I say is true.
You flatter me, sculptor.
And she blushes a little bit.
Why does Troy get to flirt with everyone except for me?
That's what you get for not getting a patron, fool.
So you wish to know what is causing this?
Or just if it is something ethereal in nature, or if we need to be looking for some baser cause. I know that I would not deign to ask you for more information than you are willing to give. Just guidance. Persuasion?
Can I give her inspiration? I don't know this is happening, I guess, so.
Is bad. That's...
Quick, inspire yourself.
No, I can't do
No,
it. I've already rolled it.
Yeah, we should have inspired each other. Oh well.
You could do it later.
Shoulda,
levels.
coulda, woulda, didn't.
I didn't know she
Didn't.
was gonna go into the fucking beginning of Spirited Away.
Yeah, I didn't know this either. Are we just watching her, like, shove her face into her
Yeah,
Tanuki's balls?
she's pretty much tranced out with Tenshi.
She's just fondling the... Just,
Stop.
Yes, indeed. I understand your wisdom. Give me your wisdom, O
That's
scrotum of knowledge.
11.
That's an 11.
Mhm.
Well, sculptor, as always, you come to me asking so much.
If you're speaking, we can't hear you and you're glitched out.
Oh,
I'm not
God.
speaking.
Yeah, you're really glitched out.
It
Damn.
actually...
Okay.
Shit. I wanted that effect to stay for a second.
That was kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Because that's what appears in front of you. A figure vaguely humanoid, but with swirling, flashing, pulsating colors that do not occur in nature. And there are some that you can't even quite perceive. And that figure, like, reaches down with what can be assumed to be a hand, and it kind of tilts your head upwards to look at this shape that you can barely comprehend.
Look to the fallen.
Look to the fallen.
Yes, without the crazy effect, look to the fallen.
Thank you.
Transformers.
You don't even get a chance to say a word until you are snapped out of that vision. And as always, it is a little jarring because you suddenly go from being able to see all these bright colors and all these visions that potentially have inspired you in your sculpting to suddenly nothing. Or no, you see yourself, actually.
Yeah, because I'm face to face with Tenchi.
You see yourself, but at, a slight upward angle. It's like when you're waiting for something to load on a dark screen and you suddenly see your face from the front facing. Yeah. So a little like that, except there's almost a violent removal of this effect.
Okay.
And Meridia has been kind of watching quietly.
What are you doing?
You okay?
What is this?
Started to drool a little bit there.
I was not drooling. I was asking guidance.
From your
Well,
pet?
Asking guidance causes you to drool, apparently.
If she's like, her eyes are about a foot to the left of where you are, and you can't see her eyes, so she's like turned towards you, but like a foot to the left, but you can see in the side of her frown that she is just glaring at you, or trying to glare at you. She's trying to give you the idea of glaring at you.
Ah, yes. I think I comprehend it with my big brain. With my intelligence of 12.
And Meridia just says, well, what have you discerned?
That in trying to find what is happening, we should look to the fallen. Does that mean anything to you, sir?
And the older gentleman kind of just, if we're speaking in metaphorical terms, the graveyard comes to mind.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
And you see that Meridia actually, sits up a little bit straighter at the mention of that.
Do we have to fight skeletons?
Hopefully we will not
No.
have to fight anything.
But I changed. She's wearing, basically it's the same outfit, but it's all dark leathers and just straps, and it's absolutely a Dom outfit.
Great.
Juniper, it's snowing.
It's
Alright.
warmer!
If there is any other information that you know of, just that it happens at night, and that the people who have looked for it have not found anything, and
If they-
have not returned?
The majority of them have returned, from what I know.
I was going to ask if it was musician specific.
Well, all of us sort of are practitioners. We're not quite to your academy's levels, but
We've been at the academy for 5 days.
you had to have gotten in through the audition process, yes?
Yes, but we've been at the academy for 5 days, and they've sent us to look for missing persons. Doesn't that seem just a little bit of a leap? I'm not saying that they don't intend us to find out what's happening, but I don't think they intend us to find out what's happening.
I mean, I fought an army of crabs and a giant fish once, so I feel pretty qualified.
I'm really hoping that you aren't talking about some sort of fornication disease.
Well, that too, but that's not what I was talking about. By the way, sir, do you, are there any, local, legends or curses or folktales that we should know about, that the Dungeon Master might want us to go towards any leads? Just in case. Just in case we're idiots and can't figure this out.
No, there's no legends that are really springing to mind when we're speaking about this incident. It just feels out of the ordinary.
Alright,
Alright.
let's go grave rob.
No.
We're not actually gonna grave rob.
We're grave searching.
Yeah.
Meridia's just like, you will do no such thing.
Mm.
Okay, well. Let's go.
So do you all go to the graveyard?
Yeah. I guess we go.
Are we- Yeah.
Well, I was gonna ask the guy if the searchers went in any particular direction, or
Most of them went sort of throughout town. Since the sound's been heard pretty much everywhere, it's a little difficult to discern exactly where things are originating from.
And this
But
was
he
only
said-
happening at night, he said?
Only at night, yes.
and he said more on this side of the town. Is the graveyard on this side of the town?
Yes, it's attached to the church.
Cool.
Oh, like out
Oh,
back.
awesome.
Oh, shit.
Out
okay.
back. Cool.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Is it a cemetery when it's attached to a church, or is it a graveyard when it's attached to a church? Talos and Jaffe would know this.
I'm gonna go with cemetery. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But while you guys are looking that up, I'm gonna have us take a 5-minute break. So, you all go out into the... Did we figure out if it was a graveyard or a cemetery?
Graveyard.
Graveyard.
It's attached to a church, so it's a graveyard.
Yes, you go out behind this theater to the graveyard.
Spooky. As if theaters weren't haunted enough.
And it's a graveyard. There are tombstones, some better maintained than others. Most of them are all fairly ornately carved. So, like, it's... Even here, there seems to be a level of artistry to everything.
Okay.
And you can see that Meridia actually goes to a few of the graves and kind of bows over them.
Is she doing
Maria,
a prayer?
Are you from around here?
No, not especially.
Are you in the habit
there's
of
a
paying?
cat. Watch out!
I just attract all sorts of animals. It's no big deal.
It's just 10
Anyway,
Are you in the habit of paying respects all the time?
when I can.
Respect is a virtue. And Tenchi gives a pointed look at Cadence.
I'm too busy petting the cat.
That
It's
has
just
suddenly
a fucking
shown up.
graveyard cat.
The most notable thing in this graveyard is the entrance to what appears to be a crypt. That, again, looks very well maintained. And you're here at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not especially spooky.
Is there a three-eyed raven sitting atop it staring at us?
No, actually, there's a few birds, but it's like bluebirds and like...
I have my Eldritch Invocation going on it. Can I do cast Detect Magic on it?
Yeah, what does your Eldritch Invocation do?
It's just Eldritch Sight, so it's instantly casting Detect Magic at will.
That's dope.
Yeah, that is pretty dope.
What's the range on that? Shit.
The range of Detect Magic, probably.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like you just have that on all the time. That's fucking awesome.
There's probably a number of uses.
There probably is, but I
No, at will
don't-
means whenever the hell you want, as many times as you want. All day,
yeah,
every day.
yeah, it just says at will. So
You can just turn on
Warlock.
some Detect Magic.
Magic radar.
So, as you're looking over these crypts, you can see magic trailing up from it.
Interesting.
Do you
I go
see
up
something,
to-
Cadence?
Shush. Shush. I go up to it and then I take off my very expensive glove that I've been wearing and I hold up my hand to do Identify and cast Identify on it.
Alright, read me the effect of Identify, please.
I will. Instantaneous, you choose one object that you must touch throughout the casting of the spell. If it is a magic item or some other magical imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use, and how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it. If you instead touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting it.
All right. So you're touching the crypt specifically?
Yes.
So you lay a hand on the stonework, and the first thing that becomes immediately clear to you is there are some intense warding spells on this place.
Well, that's not surprising.
Like, these are things, and you can tell after a bit, these are spells meant to keep things out. And also at this close, you can see the plaque on the outside of the crypt. Here lies Axton Oldrick.
Axton Oldgrip?
Oh.
Oldrick.
Oldrick.
AXTON OLDRIK.
OLDRIK. Oh, I spelled that.
OLD.
First headmaster of the Dorian Academy of Music.
So, our current headmaster got his position through nepotism?
Well, of course. This is the fancy school.
But that's something that you can note, Cadence. It does
Alright.
not say the Dorian Royal Academy of the Arts. It says the Dorian School of Music.
Dorian School of Music.
When was the
Yeah,
Dorian
when is-
School of Music turned into the
Wha-
Academy of the Arts?
When could I do a history check to? Because I have been doing some studying.
Yeah, go for it.
Between all this.
You're trying to
Learn.
discern. You're trying to recollect anything about the formation of the academy.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Do I have anything about history? Okay, I have something about history, so that'll be only 11.
So you know that the academy was not always ordained by the royalty of this land. You know that at a certain point it was just a school of music, but upon gaining royal funding and all the prestige comes with that, they were told to diversify. And you know that that's probably been a thing for at least 30 years or so.
Does the crypt have a date for when the person in it died? Visibly
I'm
on
gonna
the outside?
say that it does. This person, Axton, seems to have passed about 5 years prior to the formation of the Royal Academy of the Arts.
Is there any sign? I'm assuming there's snow on the ground, but is there any signs of like the earth being disturbed or like any kind of cracks that I would be able to discern anything from? Like if any people have been in here like more than just the occasional mourner.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check. At disadvantage.
Fuck. Roll a 16 and a 3. So
Yeah.
is what does a 5 get me?
A 5 gets you You do find some tracks actually.
Wonderful.
You start to follow them, and you find your way back to the back door of the church.
There are tracks.
Yes.
God.
Juniper, get back here. Where are you going?
I had to pee. I'm done now.
You didn't even get inside.
All right, so there are a lot of wards here to keep people out. You said?
Well, from this specific crypt. So whatever is in there is very important.
Well, yes, it would be the corpse remains, the remains of the founder of our school.
We don't have to mince it. It's a corpse.
I
Meridia just kind of
it's been
slowly...
It's been quite some time. I believe it would be remains.
Meridia just slowly gives Cadence the side eye.
I don't notice.
Toshiko, roll me a perception check.
Yes, let's have the blind girl roll the perception check. You brought this upon yourself.
Toph, what do you see?
Can I give Toshiko bardic inspiration?
Nope, too late. I've already rolled it. 6.
Roll again. Giving you advantage. Because you're not seeing something. You're
Then
hearing it.
I'm gonna give Toshiko bardic inspiration.
Sure.
You can also add D. What is my
What
bardic
is it?
inspiration?
It's a D6. All of us get a D6. What do you do to inspire? What lawyery thing do you do to inspire? You say, hold it!
Yes, that
Listen,
that
I
is
feel
the
like-
words the DM should be saying.
Yeah, I'd be like, hold
Sorry.
it.
I want to make
Stop.
someone else suffer. 'Cause
Stop
I've done
backseat
nothing but fail.
DMing, Michael. Modified 20.
Okay.
Mm.
So, you pretty clearly start to hear something. And it's the sort of thing that, you hear Meridia starting to try to explain something to Cadence about, the difference between a corpse and remains. And Cadence does a very Cadence thing, which is telling her off and telling her to shush.
Hold it.
But that allows you, that circumstance gives you that extra little oomph that you need to hear as dirt seems to shift around you.
Something's happening beneath us.
You feel the dirt underneath your hand actually shift as you put your hand to it. And then you feel bone.
This is bad.
We have to get out. We have to step back.
As you assumedly follow Cadence's idea,
Everyone get on top of something! If the ground is moving, we need to not be touching the ground. This is tremors.
so is Junie jumping up onto a gravestone or something?
I'm leaping onto gravestones as I follow people. I'm not touching the ground.
Meridia is meanwhile drawing her blade and walking backwards.
I'm going to grab onto Toshiko and try to pull her onto a a flatter surface, be it a gravestone or a rock somewhere close by.
She goes willingly, she's reaching for your hand for help.
Yeah.
And Meridia is planting her feet.
Meridia, what are you doing?
I'll flank Meridia. I'm not leaving her behind.
And as she does, a number of skeletal hands reach up from the ground and begin to claw their way out.
Ah! I hate it!
Bad.
And as you are all seeing this, Meridia tenses, and you can see if you guys remember when she was blushing earlier, you saw those brief little lines of what looked like magma that kind of touched at her skin.
Yeah.
You see those start from where her gloves are and go all the way up her arms, bright as, like, a campfire now.
Shit.
Hot.
And you've still got Detect Magic kind of active, right,
Yeah.
Cadence? So you're getting some very strong necromantic magic coming from the skeletons. If you can imagine that.
Unsurprising.
It's time to Crypt of the Necrodancer this shit.
And that same necromantic energy radiating off of Cadence. Or not
Meridia.
Cadence, Meridia.
Oh,
Wait,
okay. Yes, right there.
you mean the same kind as in, like, she's controlling the skeletons?
No, it's necromantic magic.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, like,
What
not the same, like, god, just
Not the
necromantic.
same source, just the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I thought we were gonna have to kill the wife.
I was like,
Not
no,
yet.
no, Michael. No, Michael. Fair enough.
So,
Actually,
roll
yeah.
for initiative.
Ah!
Let's do it.
It's time for me to do the only thing that I'm useful for. 10, my friend.
10 for my initiative.
10? Alright, who has the higher dex between you and Juniper?
I got a 3.
I have I have a +4 for dex.
Really?
Mhm.
Jesus,
I
why
have
are
a
my stats
dexterity
so
of
shit?
19. Because you did the D6. And I put on my big girl
Carly's-
panties and rolled D20s.
Carly's not a coward.
If I used my original stats, which I think I used it to 24, that would have been roughly what I had. I had like 5. Next.
All right.
Short answer, I have the higher.
So, the skeletons move first.
Fuck!
Fuck.
Why do we suck at everything? What did Meridia get?
Not very good.
Aw,
God, we
damn
suck.
it, Meridia!
So,
Can't keep covering for you, Meridia.
a few of them move towards the gravestones that you all have perched onto, while 2 of them approach Meridia and take a swing.
No! Not quite.
I have to remember that you guys can see my face right now, so I have to poker face it. So they take a couple of swings at Meridia, and she actually like cries out in pain as these swords dig into her arm.
Shit.
Oh, you bag of bones.
And some skeletons have approached the tombstones that you all are standing on top of, but they are not within striking range currently. So next up is going to be Carly.
Cool.
Jeez, 10 was the highest?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Who's the nearest to me?
Which person?
Yes.
That'd be Cadence, because she was the one that grabbed you to help you along, right?
Right. Cadence, do you trust me?
Vaguely. What?
And I am going to place my hand against her chest, and
Oh
I'm
my.
going to cast Enlarge.
What?
You're gonna be a big fish!
For the record, they are a B-cup.
Great, no one asked,
I
but
would
great.
be going for the sternum, but okay.
There's no difference at that point. Anyway.
So, enlarge.
Yes, so your size you go up a size, so you're a medium creature, so you'd go up to a large
Oh, so
creature.
they're C's now.
Interesting.
You are 8 times as heavy as you were, and twice as large. You get advantage on all strength checks and saves, and all weapons they're bigger. All weapons that you have on you are also growing. Your clothes and everything grows. You get an additional 1d4 extra damage.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Aren't you a ranged fighter?
Me?
Yeah, aren't you a ranged fighter?
Yeah, but I got some stuff.
I thought you had a big sword.
No, Meridia has the big sword.
Well,
And I've got the spear.
well,
Yeah, I'm a ranged fighter, but like now
Cadence is
I'm large
thick
and I
now.
got Cadence is thick now. So now you see this like
Okay, dance!
so now she's just like large. Wait, so advantage on strength there. Interesting.
Rep.
This
Yeah,
doesn't
how-
affect my speed, does it?
Your what?
My speed?
No, it's the
Nope.
same.
No? Okay. That's fine then.
Right?
So how tall is Cadence normally?
I would say she was already like 6 feet.
Yeah, she's like 12 feet tall. You were just like maybe an inch away from Meridia's height normally.
Yeah.
So now you're towering over her, and she just kind of. Oh,
Okay. This
Maria's
is
now realizing her giantess king.
I was serious about not wanting to be a giant this morning. But okay. We're doing this now.
and so is that your turn, Toshiko?
as a bonus action, so I'm going to say, Tenchi,
Sound does it to me.
pay your rent. No,
Anyway,
I'm going to say, Tenchi, bring me one of their heads. And, so it's force empowered Ren. So basically, it's just gonna go bite things and beat things. It's gonna go hurt things.
It's an attack.
Yeah, it's an attack. 1d8.
okay, so
1d8
Tenchi is going to
plus-
go attack one of the skeletons.
Yes.
You have to
I have to roll
hit
to
first.
attack, yeah. I can't see what that is.
Base 5.
Okay. 9.
Not gonna cut it.
Okay.
Skeletons are squishy, but not that squishy.
Then it's gonna like try to jump up and grab one of them's heads off of its shoulder and miss by like a foot, and then go "Rah!" and like run back towards.
It just
kind of
kind of tumbles and Tenchi just kind of tumbles and runs back.
You didn't do a very good job.
Junie, it's your turn.
Okay. So, I want to see
So
if I
there's-
can hit more than one.
There's 2 grouped up by Meridia.
Mm.
2 that were advancing towards the tombstone that Cadence and Toshiko are on top of. And 3 that had yet to go much of anywhere.
Okay. So, I guess I can... Can I place myself behind, like, leap, do a cool flip, and, like, I'll use, like, my spirit of pole vault and land behind the skeletons so they're between me and Meridia?
You can roll an acrobatics to see how well that does, since you said you were doing a cool flip.
I'm gonna do a cool flip. It's gonna happen. Acrobatics? That's a 26!
Yeah, no, you do like 3 flips in the air
Okay.
and land perfectly.
All right, so it's just the 2 within range right now, right?
You're not going to go for that group of 3?
Can I get to them?
With a leap like that? Yeah, I'd say so.
And 50 feet of movement. All right, cool. Yeah, so I just whee go over there, and I'm going
They're
to
within
use
50 feet, no problem.
spectacular. I'm not going to use that yet, so I'm just going to do. Yeah, I'm just going to do a single attack, and I'm going to use my slashing flourish, which expends a bardic inspiration die. Well, first let's see if I hit. Natural 20.
Oh my god.
I'm going to need a picture, or just point the camera.
No, it's real.
Okay, that's enough for me.
Okay, so I'm going to expend a bardic inspiration die, which is a d6, to do additional damage to this, to one of the skeletons, and the other skeletons also get that additional damage, but just not the initial damage.
Okay, so you're basically doing like a strike that explodes outward.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, we can to paint a word picture. Junie flips up with her spear and just swipes through the 3 of them. So that is. So that's 13. So 14 to the one I directly hit, and then the other 2 each get 1 hit point of damage.
Oof. So the one that you struck initially just collapses into a pile of unmoving bones. The other 2 just kind of look perturbed, as much as skeletons can.
Alright, I'm going to spend a key point to do Flurry of Blows.
Okay, so that's another attack, correct?
It is 2 attacks!
Roll them up.
He a bonk.
I'm a bonk. This is
You
what
bonk.
I was made for.
Monks go bonk.
Okay, so yeah, that's as my bonus action. I can do this. That's 12.
To hit?
Yeah.
That's not gonna do it.
Oh, and the other one, even worse.
Yeah, so you're too busy landing and showing off from this flip to to strike these blows true.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well.
All right. Is that the end of your turn?
That ends my turn.
All right, Cadence, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to has Toshiko moved?
You're gonna blow.
I'm gonna do a fury of blows. No. No. Has Toshiko moved away from me?
No.
I'm still on. I'm in high place, away from the danger, because I'm
Okay.
small and I can't see.
Good. Stay here. Try not to get in the way. And I'm going to summon reluctantly from the depths a tentacle
Oh my god.
as a bonus action.
Wait, what?
It's a feature
That's
I
your-
have. Yeah.
That's your bonus action, correct?
Yeah.
That is-
It's a grasp of the deep.
That sounds gross.
Okay.
And I can create a 10-foot long tentacle at a point you can see within 60 feet of you, and it lasts for a minute. So I would like to summon it. Where is the largest cluster of skeletons?
Well, they're basically now in groups of 2. There's 2 advancing on you and Toshiko.
Okay.
There are 2 that are now glaring as much as skeletons can at Junie, who just dive bombed one of them. And then there are 2 now facing off with Meridia.
Actually, I just saw Meridia get hit, which makes me feel something. So I'm actually going to cast the tentacle. Could I cast the tentacle close enough to Meridia to not get at her, but to get the tentacles?
Yeah,
I mean,
what
like,
what
not
sort
the
of area
tentacles,
does
like the skeletons attacking her.
what sort of area does the tentacle deal with?
It says create a 10-foot long tentacle at a point you can see 60 feet. You can make a melee spell attack against a creature within 10 feet. On a hit, the target takes 1d8 lightning damage, and its speed is reduced by 10 feet.
Okay, so you can have that tentacle just show up. It's not going to actually do anything to Meridia, because you get to willingly decide what it attacks.
Okay. So if I summon it and then have it do the attack, that would be my turn?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I'm just going to summon it, and then I'm going to do my own attack at the skeletons attacking us right now.
Okay.
So I'm going to pull out my rapier. Come on, baby. Let's do a hit. Wait, do I have a... Yeah, I have a... You said I have advantage, right?
No, you don't have any advantage on attack rolls.
Just advantage on strength saving, right? Okay,
Yeah.
I don't think I'll hit. It's
What'd
just
you
gonna
get?
be a 7.
Oh, Jesus.
Nope.
Hell.
Sorry, guys. I got the 1 natural 20 in.
It's all good. Well, fuck.
Will what now?
I said, well, fuck.
Oh.
That's my turn.
All right. So it is now Meridia's turn.
Meridia is so cool.
Yeah, Meridia sees the 2 skeletons that have struck her, and just takes a big ol' swing at one of them.
You've been struck by a smooth skeleton.
All right. So she takes a swing at the skeleton and actually does connect with it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see that she's not exactly muscular, like by standard definition, but she clearly has more strength than she was letting on with how quickly she whips around that bastard sword. Yeah,
Meridia
she
kills them all in 1 hit.
She
Yeah.
does actually down one of the skeletons with just a huge swing of this sword.
Hell yeah.
And you can see as she does, she is not just you can't just see the magma crackling on her skin. She is literally seething with anger.
Yeah, let it out, girl. Don't bottle it up.
On that note, it's the skeleton's turn.
Yeah, shit. There's
So
two less of 'em.
there are 2 in front of Junie, 1 in front of Meridia, and 2 in front of Toshiko and Kaden.
Yep.
So the ones in front of Junie are going to attack.
Mantis style.
I guess. I'm gonna take a guess that an 8 doesn't hit you.
No, that does not.
Alright. So the ones in front of Cadence and Toshiko are mainly gonna attack Cadence because Cadence is 12 feet tall currently.
Yeah. It's a lot of me to hit.
Just a big old bimbo.
Big ol' fish.
Oh no, he's moving his camera. It's a natural 20, isn't it?
Bitch.
I can't. Natural one!
You stupid skeletons.
That's what you get for not having
So-
tendons.
You done goofed, skeleton.
Not only do both of the skeletons miss you, Cadence, roll me an attack.
Oh fuck yeah! Come on, baby, let's do it.
You're getting a reaction for free, basically.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Does a yeah, have to go look at my fucking. Does a 13 hit?
I will say it does.
I rolled 2 ones. That's
So
funny.
you just
2
kind of-
points of damage.
Oh,
you
it's
just kinda-
+2, so it's technically 4 damage.
Ah,
But yeah,
you
it's
punt
4.
it.
Yeah,
You
I
just
punt
kinda,
it.
You're not suited for melee combat, so even at your size, when one of these things attacks you, you kind of react by trying to swat it away.
Yeah, like I accidentally like used the butt of my rapier instead of like the sharp end of it. It's like ugh. Ugh.
All right. So that is, let's see, they attacked you guys. The one remaining in front of Meridia is going to attempt to attack. And is going to miss.
bitch.
You skelly guys suck.
Next up is going to be Toshiko.
Yes. Awesome.
What you doing?
So Tenchi has returned to my shoulder. There is, you said, 1 skeleton remaining next to Meridia.
Yes.
Okay, so I am going to reach into my sleeve and I pull out a dagger. And I am going to yeet the dagger at the skeleton next to Meridia.
And so,
All right.
it has been yoked.
Roll with disadvantage.
Why do I
Oh,
get
no.
this?
You're right. Never mind. Forgot Tenchi.
Yeah, he's on my shoulder. I can see right now. I don't think that's gonna hit.
What'd you get? 11?
11?
Not gonna cut it. Your dagger goes sailing past.
And then I just raise my hand and it just shoot back into my hand.
Oh shit, she's Thor.
Because I am an artificer and I have casted returning weapon on this.
Nice.
So
Right, I remember you setting that up.
yep, plus
Nice.
1 to attack and damage, and it returns to my hand immediately. So that would actually be a 12 to hit, pardon me.
Still not.
I didn't think so. But it just returns
Alright.
to my hand, and then I say, Tenchi. And he goes to one of the skeletons that had been slain and grabs the skull. Would that be considered his action? Or would that be
Yeah, I'll say that getting the skull and coming back was his action.
Okay, cool. So he returns to me and just pops it into my hand.
Okay, so you're going all Hamlet on it. Alright. Alright, Junie.
Gonna I'm just gonna normally hit one of them.
Alright.
Okay. 23.
Yep, hits.
Alright, cool. God, it'd be great if we could figure out the fucking... Alright. Big money, no whammies. So that's 8 damage.
To one of the ones that you've already hit.
Yeah.
Alright, so that one does go down.
Alright, and I will burn another key point to both of my flurry of blows, or well, a flurry of
Both
blows.
of your attacks via flurry of blows.
Yeah. So 2 extra, and if this next one downs it, then just a 10.
Nope.
Oh my God! 11.
Nope.
Mitty!
What a waste of key
You
points.
want me to just hold you? Is that it?
Both times. That sucks.
They regenerate at a short rest.
Key points? Yeah, you just have to meditate.
Okay. Yeah, that's it for my turn. I'm just facing off with one of them. Like, fucking get you!
Alright, Cadence, it's your turn.
Okay. Cast Tentacle to hit the skeleton that's attacking Meridia.
Alright, roll a melee spell attack.
Ooh, 19 plus... that's a 19.
Yeah, no, you hit.
19 plus things.
19 plus, yeah, I hit. So that'll just be a 4 lightning damage. So you see this tentacle slap the arms off of the skeleton.
How much damage did you do?
4.
I didn't actually hear what you said.
4 damage.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm
Yeah, you
struggling
do
with
slap
cat.
one of the arms off of the skeleton. Just thunk.
And then I'm going to Eldritch Blast the skeleton.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast one of the skeletons in front of me.
Okay.
Make a range spell attack.
Eldritch Blast.
Okay, well that'll be. I actually have to look this one up because I rolled 5.
Ooh.
But let's see what my spellcast's doing. So that'll be an 11.
Still not a hit.
Yeah. Wow. Well, the attack that saved my girlfriend. Not my girlfriend, rival. It's fine.
What's the difference, really?
It's labels.
Well, what are
So-
we? Like,
Oh, what are we? Don't read into it. Whatever. She cast Destroy Bone.
This is what'll happen if Cadence dies.
Christ.
I forgot we had this. The fish has been taken.
Okay, so she is actually going to turn away from the skeleton attacking her, seeing that Cadence is having some difficulty with the ones in front of her.
Just get off.
And you see her bring her
Back
sword
off.
around.
Oh,
Actually, I realize I have to back up a little bit in order for this gesture to be seen. You see her bring the sword around, flip it with the scales pointing, like you can actually see the scales as they're supposed to be. And she casts Guiding Bolt.
Ooh.
mmm.
You like us some guiding bolts.
Guiding bolt that bitch.
Re-rolling that because I feel like it. Listen, did you want her to roll in that one?
Little peek behind the curtain.
Did you want her to roll in that one?
Yes!
Aw.
I want her to fail and die! Not really.
I want her to be cool. It's sexy.
Learning from failure is also sexy.
That's also true. I
Yeah,
also
but
want her to be cool.
I will be the first to admit, and
Just lie to
any
me,
DMs,
Troy. Just lie to me.
any DMs listening out there, never be afraid to fudge a roll.
He does it.
All the time.
He has given there will be days, sessions where he's like, yeah, so this person actually rolled a natural 20, but you would have died, so I changed it. He's done that before.
So, with Guiding
That would
Bolt,
be
she
narratively
does...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
Sam
one of my
Riegel-
big tenets, and I think me and Mike have actually had a conversation about this.
Yeah.
There would be nothing interesting to come from another Nat 1 in a string of missed rolls from you guys.
Especially not for an NPC. For a character that's like, you keep failing, maybe there's some character development you can find there, but...
Yeah. For
So
an
you
NPC.
just see her hold out these scales, and you can see them begin to glow with the same orange light that seems to come from beneath her skin. And you see that the light fill up the scales, and they begin to tip. And you can see that they tip and then suddenly point in, as though the scales were being weighed. The side that's closest to Meridia suddenly raises up, and the one pointing towards the skeletons plummets, and just this bolt of light, like fire, streaks out of the end of the sword.
That's fucking awesome.
And just obliterates the skeleton. There's nothing left of it.
Whoa! Fuck my tentacle! What the fuck? That's so much cooler.
It's a good thing you're a fish.
And as she does this, you hear her say, in a voice that is a mixture of her own and something far deeper,
The scales have been balanced.
Ha!
Cool.
and as she says that, you see her kind of snap out of that rage almost, and she looks shocked.
All
And
of us
that
are like-
is the end of her turn.
Everyone is just waiting
Skeletons
to
are up.
on to react.
Ah! She's so cool.
All right. So the one skeleton in front of Junie attacks.
Come at me, bitch!
That's gonna hit.
Fuck! What'd you get?
I got a 19.
Fuck!
Pretty sure that hits at least.
Yeah, most certainly it does. I'm squishy.
Yeah, you monk. You dumb leather monk.
So you take 5 damage from this sword. The skeleton in front of Cadence attempts to attack. Does a 17 hit you?
It does.
Also 5 damage.
I do hellish rebuke.
Hell yeah!
Hellish Rebuke. Okay, tell me more.
Point your finger. Creature that damages you is momentarily surrounded by hellish flame. So it has to do a dexterity saving throw. Or take 2d10 fire damage. Or half as much. So I'm gonna roll that.
2d10?
Yep.
Jeez. That's beefy.
It's like, how dare you touch me?
As a giantess, oh dare!
How dare you touch me?
You have to talk like that as long as she's
What-
enlarged.
What is the DC for the save?
Let me look up my...
Shalala.
14.
Very nice.
The save is 14.
Okay, yeah, it hits, so you do full damage.
Okay, that'll be...
You're at the Church of
That-
Malala.
That'll just be 10 damage.
That's enough.
Oh. Hell
This-
yeah.
As it strikes you, you lash back out at it, and just flames consume it.
Ridiculous.
So let's see. The one attacked Junie, the one attacked Cadence, one attacked Meridia, and also hits for 5 damage. Meridia is looking pretty decent still, but has definitely gotten hurt. Alright. Toshiko, you're up.
Awesome. Is there any point at which I would be able to stand where I will have more than one skeleton directly ahead of me.
If you took one step back off of the tombstone, you could put yourself on a diagonal between the skeleton in front of Cadence and the skeleton in front of Meridia.
Fantastic. That's what I'll do. And I will heft the skull in my hand. And then as I throw it up, I'm going to cast Catapult.
Nice.
And I'm just going to yeet the skull through the heads of the other ones.
So, could you read the spell Catapult for me? Because I'm not familiar.
Yes.
I love this spell.
I have it pulled up
So
because I figured that... Okay.
So many
So,
spellcasters.
choose one object weighing 1 to 5 pounds within range that isn't being borne or carried. Hence, get me a skull. The object flies in a straight line up to 90 feet in a direction you choose before falling to the ground, stopping early if it impacts against a solid surface. If the object would strike a creature, that creature must make a dex save. On a failed save, the object strikes the target and stop moving. In either case, both object and creature take 3d8 bludgeoning damage. So basically, if they fail the save, it stops. But if they don't fail the save, it keeps going. Is what I'm seeing. That's what it seems like it's saying.
Yeah, it doesn't say it stops moving. If they, on a failed save, the object strikes the target and stops moving.
Yeah.
So if they succeed,
It just misses them and it keeps going.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you'll hit. Oh.
Oh,
try.
no.
Aww.
Okay, so
Well.
that's going to be 3d8 bludgeoning damage. I'll just roll it once. Oh,
I should have another. Oh, here it is.
yes, thank you. Add any of my spellcasting modifiers.
It's just 11.
So that would be 11 points of damage to that first one.
Okay. So it just... You knock the skull loose, and it just...
Replaces it.
Actually, yes. Carly,
Yes.
can I have you roll me 2d6 for me, please?
What's the other d6? Oh, sorry, I took it.
You took my d6?
I took the d6!
That's 2 ones.
Oh no!
2 ones.
So, you
Meridia
watch
dies.
as you yeet this skull into the one closest to Cadence. And just for a moment, the skull you were holding is replacing the one that it had already before it collapses. That first skull keeps going and launches into the one in front of Meridia.
Oh, so I just played the Newton's.
It's the
Newton's
Newton balls.
It-
Alright, so would you like for me to roll the 3D,
Nope, that was your 2d6.
Oh, awesome.
Because it didn't do the full spell
Cool.
effect, it just did sort of ricochet damage on
So an extra 2 points of damage to the other guy.
Nice.
Yes. It rolled a nat 1, I wanted something cool to happen.
Cool.
That's awesome.
So there is currently 1 skeleton left.
Cool.
Uh,
And
Tiff used Hellish Rebuke on one and melted it. So
Yep.
the one in front of Tiff is down.
Mm-hmm.
So you could basically step out and be able to hit the one in front of Junie and the one in front of Meridia.
okay.
That's how we'll retcon this.
And those are the last 2.
Yes.
So now there's 1 left.
Yes, in front of Junie.
Cool. Attention.
Hey, baby.
Finish this. So it's gonna just and launch itself at the other one.
Roll to attack.
Testicles
I guess.
flapping in the breeze.
Hi, sweetheart. Aw, do you just want to be held? Okay, nope, you want to use me as a ladder.
Damn it. Again. That's an 11 again.
Nope, not gonna do it.
Ah! What is that?
Yeah, you just see Tenshi go flying past your head and just land on the ground like 10 feet behind you, Uni.
Tenshi.
You need repairs.
Junie, it's your turn.
Fucking hit it! 11. 21. I can count. It's 15 plus 6.
Yes, that's a hit.
Okay. There we go. That's some good damage. That's 10 damage right off the bat.
Yep, it's down.
Just stab it like through the skull. Throw its skull as far as I can.
Tenchi chases it and grabs it in midair and like picks it up and runs it to Toshiko. She looks down at it. Thank you. And kind of just like
And you see
nudges it.
Meridia like, go ahead. Sorry.
Just kind of like nudges it with her toe and like pushes it away from her.
You can see Meridia is like frantically digging through the dirt where these skeletons had risen up from. Like, you've never seen her quite this frantic.
Do I have anything for that? No, I don't have anything for that.
Toshiko.
What? I can't do anything right now. It's not my turn, but like.
Well, no, we're out of combat.
Oh, we are. We are. Can I
Yeah,
help
you
her?
killed all of them.
Oh.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Da,
That make you feel better
da-da-da.
knowing that combat's over?
yes.
So
I-
Toshiko is going to walk over to Meridia.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
going to. What are you looking for?
These abominations, and you can hear like this vitriol in her voice that you've never heard before. You've heard her be catty, you've heard her be snarky, you've even heard her get angry a couple of times at just a couple of things going on in the school. This is beyond that.
Complete the. Okay.
Toshiko like quietly walks over and just kind of places a hand on her shoulder.
Even through her skin, like even through her clothing, she is like boiling hot to the touch.
She doesn't move her hand. She's been burned before. She keeps her hand on her shoulder. Meridia, peace. There's nothing you can do. And she also is going to cast Cure Wounds on her. Just while she's touching her since she got kind of fucked up.
Go ahead and cast.
9. 9 points.
9.
9. Restored
9.
9 points.
Yeah, she gains back, like you can see the wounds healing, you can see some of that fire beneath her skin start to fade away. But as you do, you take 3 points of damage.
That's fine.
Toshiko, I like move to lift Toshiko's hand.
As,
Are you still
as you're still
ginormous?
12 feet tall.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
just like.
What's the
dig.
duration
Wait,
on
no,
enlarge?
is it a concentration thing or is it like a?
It's concentration, and I just took damage, so now it drops.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like, I would assume Cadence is like shrunken back and now is
Yeah, that was the first time I took damage.
yeah. So now Cadence is back to a regular size. Very jarring. And is moving Toshiko's hands like the gesture's there, but let's be sensible about this. What has you so upset, Meridia?
That. And you can hear her like trying to get the words, and you can actually hear nearing tears actually. in her voice. And she's just, this is not what I expected. I thought I would be able to see them coming.
Well, digging for them is not going to be the way to go. If they came from underground, I can think of at least one way to get there a little bit faster.
Don't disturb anyone else's rest. Come on.
Alright. So you all get to your feet and kind of make your way out of the graveyard.
Oh, I thought
And
we
I
were going
need
in the
every-
crypt.
Yeah,
Oh, is that where you guys are going?
I mean, it's the obvious choice, isn't it? They came from below. We should go seek them out.
We might need to regroup for a moment. What do you think? It's not night yet. All the music is happening at night, right?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Maybe we should come back at night.
So, and Toshiko's gonna say, maybe we can ask for sanctuary for the night and wait it out until we hear the music.
I want to get a beer.
You can get a beer.
And I think it's good if we regroup for some of us. And then Cadence is looking at Meridia.
And she's just, yes, I need to rest.
Very awkwardly, she does try to put her arm on Meridia's shoulder in like a way of like calming her down.
Hot.
Hot.
Yeah, it is boiling hot.
And then immediately puts back
You're
her
a fish.
hand. Yeah, it's like this definitely hurts a lot.
You're doing that whole, like, touch,
Tap, 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 tap,
and you can actually see, as you guys are walking towards the back door of the church, like, as you do that, she kind of looks back at you and gives you this very weak smile. And just kind of reaches up and puts her hand on yours. And it's not quite as hot anymore.
Oh.
Toshiko kind of trails behind the group, and as she tends to do, Tenchi on her shoulder, and reaches into her pocket and just pulls out some burn cream, which strangely she has burn cream on her at all times.
I wonder why.
And
I wonder
bandages,
why.
And she kind of just wraps her hand up with the bandages, ties it off, and then just keeps walking.
Alright. Everybody roll me a perception check.
Oh, I see everything. 8.
9.
17.
Oh, that's better.
Would my detect magic do anything? I technically, I don't know if I would have it on at all times, but probably not in this instance. So yeah, no, never mind. 17.
It's probably bad
So-
for your eyes.
This is how we'll end out this this little snippet. As you guys are entering the church, Cadence, for just a moment, and you're almost not even sure if you're hearing it, and if you are, it might be from the taverns nearby. You hear a light drum beat.